Hi, my name is Linden. I'm with AWR working on the AntSyn product, our antenna synthesis module. And I want to show you today some of the features that we've added since the last time we did this video, as well as highlight some of the features that we really hadn't highlighted before, that we think are helpful and important for getting your projects done. First of all, one of the very handy features that often goes unmentioned is how to bring antennas into your own directory from the examples. So let's say you like what you have gotten from this circularly polarized example, but you want to change the frequency and maybe a few other things. All you have to do is right-click on the name of the specification in the example list, and then click duplicate. Once you click duplicate, you will get a chance to either set it as a new specification in a new project, or it can go into a project that already exists. So we'll put it into an existing project, and then we'll save it. And now you can see that the specification is in our own directory, and we're able to rename it, change frequencies, etc. And by the way, we've also added lots more of the preset antenna bands so that you can more easily select and change your frequencies to common named bands, as well as ISM and cell bands. One of the other features we've added is in the pattern control. There's a lot more information given. So now you can see where your pattern covers. So if I change my symmetry, say to left equals right, I can see that now I've got a very narrow fan beam that is being generated. Or I can go back to rotational, and now I can see that I've got an entire umbrella around the antenna. Notice also that the antenna has the antenna model has a little icon of an antenna inside it, and that tells you how the antenna is oriented. And you can change this in the geometry to be either towards the x-axis or the z-axis. And that is a very important specification so that you know what we mean by antenna axis. All the antennas in the library, all the images, show the antenna pointed towards the z-axis so that you have an idea of what happens when you reorient the antenna. Another feature that we've added is in the dielectric properties for a particular band. You can now have multiple dielectric constants and loss tangents so that you can accommodate a wide variety of materials with a single antenna design. So say you were designing a RFID tag that has to go on a plastic, say a plastic barrel, a wooden pallet, and say a cardboard box with a low dielectric constant. Now you can design an antenna that will work in all those environments. In geometry, we can now allow the user to move the antenna around on the ground plane very readily. Say you were designing an antenna for a CubeSat or for an integrated device. Where that antenna sits on your ground plane can be very important, and you want to optimize the antenna for that particular position. So now you can do that very easily. Also, you can set dielectric for an entire run, all the antennas in a particular run all at once. And in fact, you can also ensure that only antennas with dielectric are selected. So if you click this button, you'll see that the antennas without dielectric are now grayed out, and you are left with those that will run for your particular spec. So going into some of the results here. If you have an antenna with multiple feed points, it used to be more difficult to find out what those excitations should be for each port unless you download it into a simulator tool. If you download directly to a CAD file, you wouldn't necessarily know how to feed your antenna. We now have put that information into the CSV file, so that if you have, say, a quadrifilar helix that has 4 different phases for its 4 different points, in the CSV file you'll see how to feed each of those. Another feature that probably hasn't gotten a lot of attention is the compare page. We have a way to overlay antennas from different runs, even different projects, different specs, and different results within those specs. And you can see how they compare, how they stack up. Sometimes just looking at it one after the other makes it really difficult to know whether the antenna really will work for what you're needing it for. So you can have you can show gain versus frequency, gain versus angle, things like max gain, viswar, or return loss between 2 different antennas, and can make a better selection as a result. Thank you very much for watching, and for more information, please go to ni.com/AWR.